Hello everyone, my name is Lena and welcome to my channel. I am an online teacher and on my channel I like to talk about building your business online, okay? And this is actually the third part in my three-part series of companies and platforms that you can teach with online, okay? Right now I know many of us are trying to find some filler to supplement what companies they might not be able to work with for too much longer because China has really changed their regulations and policies for us online teachers. So we're looking. So I have broken down so many companies that I've been looking into three units, portions that are easier for you to digest. So this is the third portion of the three for you to watch. And this one is about ESL companies that you can apply to work online. The first two were, one was marketplaces that you could work with. The second one was places you can tutor with, companies you can apply to tutor with. And this is the third one, ESL companies that you can apply to online. All right, so I've got a good mix of companies here. Some you may have heard of, some are newer to me too. I mean, I don't know, maybe you've heard of them, but some are newer to me. And I have been doing a lot of research about companies for a long time because I do like to offer different companies on my channel. So when I saw a lot of these names, I was like, oh wow, didn't know that these existed. But you know, in these times, we need to look for stuff that's new and something different, right? So the first is EF, and EF actually has an adult side. So the adult side you can still teach with because the policies didn't affect the adults, but this is a Chinese company. So if you still are open to working with a Chinese company, you can work with them and teach their adult side. Now I don't want to really say about the kid side. I have heard things about their kids being in places outside of China, so you might still be able to teach with their kids side, or maybe they're expanding. I think they might be expanding. So that might be something to look into for the future, but right now their adult side is open, right, for you to teach with. So EF is the first one. iTutor Group is another one. Now I have taught for iTutor Group. I do have an affiliate link or a referral link for iTutor Group. They have been around for a while, but they are based in Taiwan. So that allows them to continue teaching. Now they do have Chinese students, so those Chinese students they won't be able to teach to after a certain period of time. That's soon, right? But they also have students in Japan and South Korea. So they are still open to teaching young students, and they have adults too. So they have adult students and young students. So if you're with iTutor Group, you're safe, and if you want to join iTutor Group, you can still teach with them. So here's a new one for me. Maybe you've heard of it. It's kind of funny. DennoKidd. I'm probably saying it wrong, but DennoKidd, DUNNO Kid, and they are based in Asia, but they teach children in Hong Kong, Korea, and Japan. And the lessons are about 15 minutes long, and you see the same student for lessons from Monday to Friday, okay? And their pay is about $16 an hour. So that is DennoKidd. I'll try to leave links for these down in the description box also, okay? Edukita. Now this one is in Indonesia, and they are offering $20 an hour for Edukita. Now remember, these are companies that you're going to need to have a bachelor's degree to work with, most of them at least, and you will need to have a TESOL. So if you don't have a TESOL, which is an ESL certificate, you can check my description box. I do have a TESOL that you can get for a pretty inexpensive amount, $20. So check out my description box for that. Unsquare is the next one. Unsquare is in Canada, and they offer $20 an hour. They have more subjects to teach outside of English, okay? And yeah, that's Unsquare. TNA is a company that it's more like for older students, right? And it's in Korea, and they offer live English lessons to Korean students. And they are looking for people who are in Canada or in the US. who want to teach English. They actually offer $30 an hour, up to $30 an hour. So you could teach from anywhere, but yeah, that sounds like a really good opportunity. Nil English is a company in South Korea, and they're providing online classes for Korean students, obviously, and adults, so young and old. And they're offering their classes from you'll get paid $9 an hour up to $15 an hour. You get more as you're with them longer. So I think after 6 months, you get $15 an hour. Latin Higher is another one. Now, Latin Higher and Open English, I recently found out that they're the same company. Okay, maybe so. Maybe one is a department of the other company. But you can teach English to students in South America. If you know Spanish, it is helpful. I think you have to have some knowledge of Spanish in order to work with them. So it could be like, if you've had like just some basic Spanish, that is probably acceptable to work with them. But I don't know for sure. But yeah, you need to have some. And they want you to have a TEFL, which you can get from International Open Academy, which is, I have a link for them down below. You can get that for $20. And also they offer between $7 to $13 an hour. Okay, and so you're teaching to, I think, adults with open English. I think it's mostly adults. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that's Open English. Online Kids Academy is another one that I've talked about before, and actually they're in Turkey. They have more, for me, I'm in North America, so I would teach with them in the afternoon, more in the afternoon time, so just something to keep in mind. And I know they offer about, their pay is maybe about $12 an hour, somewhere around there. But Teacher Lexi, she has a lot of videos about them, so if you're interested in teaching with them, you can look at her YouTube channel and you can find out more about them. But I will say that something that's interesting about them, something different, is that as a teacher, you can actually see what classes that they need somebody to teach. So you're actually selecting the classes. So it's kind of a reverse. So instead of them giving you classes, you open up your portal, and then you can see what's available and you can add those to your schedule. So that's a little different. Then there's Cambly, good old Cambly. I love him. They are very laid back, and it's a conversational style of teaching. They do have some lessons, but with them, they're not really picky about how you teach them. And if you get through all the material, they're really, it's a very casual setting. Okay, so Cambly and Cambly Kids is a good company to try out. But I know sometimes they take a while to respond, so if you apply and you don't hear something back right away, keep moving because you don't want to waste time. Then there's italki. Italki is also a company that is based, or it's using conversation to teach their students. So it's more of a conversational style, and their pay is about the same. It's about $10 to $12 an hour. Cambly is about the same as that. I didn't say that before. So italki is, I want to say they're in Korea. I'm not 100% sure. CleverKid is a company that is starting up. They sound pretty promising. I know they've hired a bunch of teachers. I heard that they hired a bunch of teachers, and so they're not hiring right now, but it's something to keep in mind for the future as they expand, and they plan to expand. But I was listening to Kelly Daigle talk about them. I will leave her information in the description box so you can contact her about working for CleverKid. NovaKid sounds like a really good company right now to work for. They are hiring, and I think the pay is about $20 an hour. I've been hearing a lot of people in Facebook groups talking about they have interviews or they've been hired. So right now they're open. So if you get there soon enough, then maybe you can get an interview with them. And then there's also 3 that I don't know a whole lot about, but I plan on doing a video about them in the future. And that's TESOL, StarKid, and Buddies. Okay, so I'm not sure if they're all hiring right now, but those are just something to keep in mind. So that was a pretty long list, and that's why I broke it down, because there's a lot of companies out here to talk about and it could be overwhelming. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you know anything about these companies and you can share some information about them, please do so in the comments. We'd love to hear your experience, what you think about them, or if you have questions, maybe I can help or somebody else can help you with your questions. But if this information was helpful for you at all, please leave a like. And thanks for watching my 3-part series in online companies that you can apply to work with right now.